There have been a lot of unknowns when it comes to Helldivers 2. How faithful will it be to the original game? When is it actually coming out? How much will it cost? And will it have microtransactions? And of course, what have they been teasing at the end of all these trailers? Well, all of this and more has finally been revealed by the developers, Arrowhead. Dr. Pooplove here, and I want to talk about everything we can expect for Helldivers 2. Let's get right into it. Now, the first real noticeable thing here is the perspective shift. The game is third person now instead of the top-down approach of the original. But when you look at what else has changed from the original, the answer is not much. Stratagems make a return. A lot of the same guns are making a return. A lot of the same factions, same jetpack, even friendly fire and the humorous tone. But of course, the perspective shift gives you a different angle to experience all this, and it certainly changes certain things up, like weapon handling, and it opens up more verticality in things like the jetpack. It's part of the reason why I'm very hyped for this game. I really couldn't get into the top-down view so much, so I didn't play that much of the original, but I love my third-person shooters, and so I'm ready for this. Now, Arrowhead recently released gameplay for how an actual mission in Helldivers 2 would take place. And it's a bit scripted, but it does reveal even more about this team-based game and how it all works. You can see your base of operations, and the menu selection screen is very much like the original, allowing you to pick your planet and drop down for a mission. During the mission, you have your stratagems available, and you use button combos in the same kind of way that you did in the original. Another thing you get a good glimpse of here is the UI. You can see your health bar depleting as you take damage, and it's hard to make out, but you can see your ammo depleting from the clip icon when firing. As I said, the section's kind of scripted, but it does give you a sense of how team play is going to interact and how communication will be key in getting through these missions. Now, they also mention that you get rewards that are offered at the end of every match. And, well, we'll get back to that in a second when we talk about microtransactions. But this trailer also reveals the release date of this game. Now, we've heard that this game is coming out in 2023, but it's actually been delayed to February 8th, 2024. It's a little later than I would have liked. Honestly, I wish this could have been a December game. It would have been perfect for me. But honestly, having this later date avoids all the games that are coming out this fall, which likely would have taken the limelight from Helldivers 2 and might have hurt its chances of reaching a broader audience. We do have to remember that while the first game had a cult following, it was rather small, and so it may take a lot to build up a community for this game. The third-person perspective shift, I think, was part of that calculation because it does make it more appealing to a bit of a larger audience. Certainly, it piqued my interest after not caring too much about it. Now, pretty soon after we found out the release date, we also have got some pre-order details. It's available on PS5 and Steam, and it's going to cost $40 for the standard edition, with the Super Earth edition being the more premium price of $60. And of course, the Super Earth edition provides things like pre-order bonuses, cosmetic items for capes, armor sets, and weapons. And then you have some other perks like the Stratagem Hero Ship game, which I'm not sure what exactly this is, but perhaps some sort of a mini game. It remains to be seen whether this will actually be worth it. And the pricing, I think people are pretty happy with. It seems like a reasonable price for a game of this caliber. But something else to notice with this pre-order is that the game will include optional in-game purchases. Basically, there are going to be microtransactions in this game. Now, since people are already paying $40, and if you're in PlayStation and you want to play with other people, you're going to have PS Plus, you can only hope that the microtransactions aren't too egregious, but this is a Sony published game we're talking about here, and this seems like part of their live service strategy, which they're banking on to make them a lot of money. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that, but I imagine a lot of what the rewards you get at the end of missions probably play a little bit into these microtransactions. Perhaps you gain some materials at the end of matches that you can trade for cosmetics, but potentially also you might be able to buy these with real money. You know, the kind of standard stuff that we kind of get a little squeamish when we hear about. We are going to have to wait and see, though. We don't know enough of that info, so we shouldn't jump to conclusions. But the other thing to take note of here is Arrowhead is finally letting us know what they've been teasing us with at the end of all these trailers, which was revealed in a pre-order trailer that came out. And that is the automaton race, or basically the cyborg race if you played the first game. These are essentially robots who have guns and other things, which will make for an intriguing challenge, where you now have to face against a faction that has a similar arsenal to the Super Earth citizens. And this new preview also shows that you can use stealth to infiltrate their base, and so there may be some kind of cool covert tactics that you can employ in this game. All this stuff just gets me more and more hyped for this game. I desperately needed a good new third-person tactical shooter to come out, and this looks like it might fit the bill. But there are more in-depth gameplay systems to cover for Helldivers 2, which I go over in this video, which you should check out. But otherwise, so long, Pooper Troopers.